Hello, everyone. You beautiful, beautiful souls, you. Today, we're going to do a reading about where are you being real right now, which I almost actually chose the where are you on point reading, so I guess they're kind of tuning into like a similar vibe. And I want to fucking sneeze already. Let's try not to. So, where are you being real right now? Where are you being truthful, honest, or actually on point, but you don't quite realize it or you're not sure because intuition, can sometimes go through clouding as you're ascending or purging, or maybe you're just very stressed out or you're in a weird position in life or you have some assholes around you or some people's energies and everything else like that that is kind of like having a hold of you, right? Keeping you tight a little bit. So we're gonna look into that vibe and see what happens, what comes up, what does spirit gotta tell us about that. Um, yeah, I was kind of like looking forward to doing this reading for a while. I think since last year, maybe the beginning of this year. I just haven't really done that. A little bit of announcement. I've never really looked into too many things to add to my throne, which is like a gift service. But I've updated that, and I'm only mentioning that because I've used the same decks for fuck knows how long now. I do cleanse them, I do look after them, I do love them with all my heart, and they have like not just history, but I don't know. They're good for me. They're good. I'm very picky and choosy about decks. But if you want me to have one a secondary tarot deck, because I don't have that, I bought one and it became mine only. I'm sorry. There's a couple of readings with it on YouTube. Or if you just want me to have more oracle selections as well, go ahead and check that out. I'm not currently investing because I gotta save to survive. So, yes, that's just all that I wanted to say for the tarot geeks and the nerds that might be flowing in and like being like, hey, all of your cards are the same all the time. It's like, yeah, because I don't have many. I have some for me, I have some for people, that's about it. I have like five for the public, five for the public, and three for myself. I think. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, um, we're gonna do five piles today. Five, really? Damn, that's a lot of piles. Yeah, so that's for a reason. Or nope, everything's fun. Everything is perfect. Everything is hunky dory. Artichoke, chicky pooky. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Um, no bottom and top. Pick and choose. Pick and choose. Any card, whichever card. Anyway, gonna also start flipping them because you can pause during the covered selection. I don't know. Let me know if you like uncovered or covered cards, because I don't have anything else to add to the piles for you to make it any easier to choose if you can't choose from covered cards. But there we go. If you want me to read them out, I guess I will, because if you don't, you can just click over to your pile right now. But first one is I am spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. Second one is the universe works fast when I am having fun, and it is reversed. My vibes speak louder than my words is the third pile, and that's also reversed. Oneness is my true nature is pile 4, and that is also reversed. And upright for the last card is I am the loving energy of the universe. So there we go. We're gonna jump right in and see what happens. Hello, pile number 1. You chose I am spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. I wanted to start shuffling right away and grab a deck, but I'm being told to channel the card. So as I'm just looking at it straight up, I'm feeling like you're quite intuitive, even if you're mystics or not, regardless of like which path you have chosen for yourself in life, you are one that is tapped in with the flow of life, with the flow of consciousness, and you understand that you understand life quite well, basically. Maybe you have like a little bit of a tougher time with yourself at some points, because you are figuring yourself out. You are human here, figuring out yourself, just as we all are. And sometimes, you have an easier time with that. Other times it's harder, and also at times you just know parts of you that are shedding, and other times you do understand your core values, but maybe you forget you still are quite adept. Like you are quite spiritual, even if you're not like the most spiritual person if you don't really practice magic. But I feel like most of you are witches, wizards, do witchcraft, rituals, matrix glitching and timeline switching and consciousness evolution stuff in general, spiritual like I wanted to say bypassing, but that has a negative connotation. That's not like the vibe I got with it. It's kind of like spiritually passing through life or through life lessons. It's not really a concrete like science you follow. It's more like what is this going to give me that's fundamentally essential on an existential level? Deep freaking pile. Most of you are really good philosophers. If not, you're kind of like those souls that seem wise even for being like a little bit fantastical or funny or just, what do you call it? Carefree. Like even if you're just like carefree and kind of just like here, um, showing up and being out on a whim, right? You basically show up as a person that is still quite wise, even though you're not really speaking on that wizened aspect of yourself or how you are talented or other things and etc. So yeah, you guys are actually achieving some type of like mastery of self and purity as well. Currently, you could be realigning your chakras because you're about to hit a psychic awareness expansion thing, or like your abilities are going to come online, like more of them are going to come online. Believe it or not, for some of you, because some of you are quite adept. You've been doing some of this stuff for a like really long while. Some of you went to classes, others you already are practitioners and healers of your own sort. Some of you are just like very much deep in the freaking path of spiritual evolution and all of that jazz. So, yeah. Like you could be doing some aspects of life with your eyes closed. I don't know, you have like these w points of wisdom or knowledge that are quite complex that if someone woke you up, you would actually just half asleep already have the answer to whatever they are asking you about. Which, for some of you, I feel like, no, I'm not that advanced or whatever. It's like you don't see some of the stuff you understand that is hard to grasp for a lot of individuals. Some of you could be guiding souls. Others of you might just be really good counselors for your friends and family. And even if you're not capitalizing on it, it's kind of like you're basically like stepping into this position of being that person that everyone can like look at and trust and like really kind of connect with, you know what I mean? Um, kind of like when you have that person in the family that everyone knows is good to talk to, good to ask life questions to. And they don't need to be a spiritualist, right? They don't need to quite be like a, I don't know, academic or someone really profoundly well known to be this or that or whatever. They just have this talent and knack for life wisdom. So that's basically what's coming across here with you. Mm. Some of you have probably been experiencing some spiritual attacks and psychic warfare as of late. It might have subsided, it might have not, as much as you would have liked it to. just keep up with your protective practices. Maybe buy some new bracelets and crystals if you can afford it. If you cannot, get creative. I'm not saying it just, in a easy whatever way. I am saying it in a light way to not make it a dingy or dark or whatever like reading that's going to hyper focus on that aspect because we're talking about other stuff as well here, even if we're going to mention it a little bit. But you know, spiritual tools are just there for us to put our attention and intention into action. In theory, it's hard, but in theory, you or anyone else can kind of do everything without those spiritual tools. It's all in the mind, if you're really quite adept and if you can feel the astral even more so. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. You feel more sensitive to experiences and output and other things, right? You also shine brighter and things can see you easier. But you can actually set everything up without actually doing any of the physical things. Like crystal grids, you can set up crystal grids without using crystals. Divination, you can do without cards, without crystal balls or anything else. Like you don't need anything except for give me the object or the inquirer. Give me the question and I'll divinate from there, and that's it. You don't really need much. The thing is, tools are supportive items that are really easy to hold and handle because one, they can sponge up some of the stuff and they can hold an intention for you without needing to focus on it or really kind of feel into manifesting it and creating it. So, yeah. Uh, these experiences are going to let up. They will go away. They don't have power over you, and I know you already know that, but I think they've just extended their welcome so much so that you're like, when is this gonna fucking end? Some of it is gonna take a little bit longer because you're keeping around family members that you could have let go by now, and that's your choice. I'm not here to talk about what that was like or why. But some of the stuff you're experiencing is connected to other people, and some of them don't really do the work. And it's up to you what you do about it, but some of them, like I'm hearing and feeling the point that they don't really deserve your help. That's not a judgment from me, it's just truth be told, if a person doesn't help themselves, they're gonna end up in the same problem. So you going through a Saint Martyr experience where someone's bringing you down and making your life harder and it's becoming more arduous and maybe even creating ill and other things is just not for your highest good. It's not helping you evolve in your soul's mission or actually becoming the person that you want to become. It's not necessarily about saving people as much as it is about being yourself in that like ultimate vibe that you always strive to be. And then people will follow because then you do it in a healthy way by sometimes extending your hand, but also setting boundaries and saying, no, I need to live my own life. And, you will be brought to certain points of where you need to make those calls if you haven't made them yet. I feel like something got digested with that one. The spirit, is there anything else? Love. Okay, so something about you understanding complexity of love and how deep it needs to go and how deep it can go and where it's made out to be rotten, but it's not, and just the nuances of it. But you understand love in a very complex way and hold it like a true superpower. It also hones you like a superhero. And it makes you quite attractive. It makes you kind of like very desirable. Some people literally lust over you just because they're like, I wonder how that would feel with them because they are so much like this. And it's literally just like your deeper comprehension of love. So something about love is still coming across. Oh, you haven't found your mate. Okay. You'll find your mate with time. It's the God honest truth here about this pile is like you, you still don't quite see yourself. You don't quite see your whole full truth and potential and how beautiful you are and how amazing and soft and valuable you are in essence and time and presence and everything. And until you can recognize yourself to that extent and you can love yourself to the fullest, that person isn't going to come around or exist or be because they need to be a vibrational resonance to you. They need to know how to act because you treat yourself that way. If they even could do that for you without you doing that for you, right? Then the other shoe of the frickin' problem would drop where it's like you're not fully open to receive, you don't react appropriately, and it then triggers old reactions and wounds that just like salts up or sullies the relationship and then creates like karmic lessons that aren't really necessary for you and that person, you know? And I think you might just want a partner just to have some company and just to feel loved and other things like that. But that's the whole point. You can actually feel quite all right and perfectly fine without a partner, and then they'll show up, and then you'll be like, what the fuck? They show up when I stop looking for them or when I feel fine by myself. This is weird, but fine. Okay, let's fall in love together. Or let's experience love in a actual relationship instead of just inside of ourselves within our lives. At points, it can be isolating or lonely, but it doesn't get to a point of where it's like a wound and a longing and a desire and you're constantly thinking of it. It's more like, some of these things are so cool. I wish I had someone to talk to about this to that like romantic closeness extent, but that's about it, right? You can still enjoy yourself and buy yourself flowers, as it said. I feel like that really kind of encapsulates the point really quite well. If I feel like this that I'm describing is going over some of your heads, you will feel it with time, but you gotta work towards self-love. So where are you being stingy emotionally, mentally, time-wise, health-wise, fucking, what do you call it? I said already emotionally, monetarily, right? If you're not buying yourself presents, if you're not loving yourself when you're hurting or in fear or having trouble, if you're not taking time off, if you're not healing properly, if you're not being compassionate and just not complimenting yourself and not saying the things you want to hear to yourself when you look at the mirror or you experience like yourself in whatever multitude of ways, if you're not giving yourself enough leisure time or you're not doing the things you've always dreamed about, you keep putting them up and off towards pension or another year or next vacation, and it never happens. Those are signs on how you're not loving yourself. You're dragging yourself along, and you will then, if you just get like a partner, that's how you're going to feel in that relationship. They will never make you feel fulfilled. They'll be dragging you along until you're like so done. Then you're like, what the you know how that goes. So get to that point of self-love, and then you'll feel like you don't even need anyone, but you will meet your person. So that's for whoever was really, really wondering about what's happening with my romance. I'm not mocking you. I'm just in a very, I don't know, fun childlike mood. I always say and do everything with utmost respect. I do gotta be honest and say sometimes I get upset at some people in readings, not the reader as much, unless they're I don't know. There's sometimes when I'm like passionate about the point of like you're not doing good for yourself. No. But all of these are reversed. Why are they reversed? Oh, you're going through a lot of issues and difficulties, and you're kind of like, what's happening? So is something wrong? You hit a spiritual wall, and you can't go past it. Like you hit your ceiling. Okay, so the spiritual thing, attack thing is coming across again. The more you love yourself, the more they can't fuck with you because they go by what you're afraid of and your weaknesses. If you are wounded, you have an opening and you don't sit with that space or place of yourself and you don't love that aspect of fear, sadness, like deep, soulful hunger of some sort of like for life, for love, or that anger and despair that you feel, like whatever the emotions are, if you don't feel them, if you don't love them, if you don't sit with those sides of yourself, they will just become, it's funny how it's coming across, traitors. They'll just have other people like keep hitting those spaces or parts of you until you are in so much discomfort that you're like, okay, I need to really look after myself. Like I can't keep living this way. I feel insane. I feel mad, anxious, and in pain. So I feel like these are recommendations to you. Yeah, you've avoided yourself for too long. Yeah, you've put yourself in a bit of a corner in a closet, but yeah, also you can make it out of here. You just need to stop avoiding what you've been running away from. Spiritual bypassing makes sense now, honestly. So, harmony, a joyful crossing of paths, and appreciation, quiet admiration, and deep respect. So that's that's literally about the love thing we were talking about. Like if you don't find that love and harmony within your two sides, the two parts of you, you won't feel good, neither in life nor with anyone. And you will not meet that person because I feel like you're a quite unique, special individual and soul, and you deserve to feel love and you deserve to be happy, but you still have some parts of yourself that are like, no, I don't. And that's not on you or anyone per se. Blame doesn't work or help at all. But it is a uncomfortable truth to be faced. And then somewhere you're, screaming out for some help. I feel like that just started grounding some energy, like, oh gosh. If you feel a bit emotional or queasy after this reading, don't worry, it's okay. It's normal. You're probably just going through a bit of a spiral of like emotions and energy in the tummy, and then it'll pass. It'll pass. You might feel a bit dizzy or vertigo as well, but um, like fair warning, my readings do healing. So party, savor, and celebrate. Don't be silly. Reassess the seriousness. Those are two cards about joy and happiness and just like pleasure and all the good stuff. Okay. Did you think about this? No. It's so weird. Are you one of those like I like how it became a phrase. I don't think it's quite a healthy or nice phrase, but for crude humor's sake, it's a good phrase and it fucking carries the point. Captain Save-A-Ho? Are you Captain Save-A-Ho? 'Cause honey, you gotta save yourself first. Like fuck the hoes. They gotta do their whole thing until they fucking realize they fucked up. Oh Jesus Christ, like the side of my throat started hurting like hell. You deserve your love and happiness and help. You deserve your magic. Your magic was given to you to experience first, and only then does it go to other people. You're not here for other people. You're not here to fulfill a mission like that. Like, no, you're not here to do anything. You're here to be alive and to live. And that's complicated. And it's a bit different than like It's it's a bit different than trying to find your purpose in how other people see you, treat you, or talk about you, or what they deem you by as worthy or unworthy. Who are they to say who or what you are by whatever standards that they don't even freaking match, by the way? Because I feel like most people understand that you're quite amazing and great. They won't tell you that, and a lot of people might even be using you at this stage because when you're like a light worker in this stage, there's no way you don't have snakes around you. Even family. I don't know why I had to say that, and I say that with compassion. But honestly, like, you will have so much happiness and joy, and everything's going to work out when the time is going to be right. But, like, the time is only going to be right when you're not stuffed up with energy of trying to prove yourself and escape your yourself and your past. Because you will only have yourself for all of eternity in every single lifetime, in every single body, in every single head, and every single like heart that you ever encapsulate or embody. You can't run away from yourself. You gotta stand by yourself and accept who you are so you can receive your own love and then the love of others and the universe and God and everything like the magic that is out there to be had. th- when you have I'm gonna explain a little bit of like a emotional clearing purging thing. We're already kind of long, so I can't really rush it though. um I'm gonna explain a wave of how emotional purging registers and looks. So before the purging happens, things are very much not good. You feel very anxious, uneasy, your appetite's weird, your sleeping is weird, you can't think straight, you are constantly worrying and dreading, and you feel like you don't have a way out of life. You can't figure out yourself, and you're asking the sky why. That builds up and up and up and up until you have a moment, a breakdown, a cry, a reassessment of some sort. You go on a weird moment where it's a walk and you burn your journal or something. You do like a weird ritual of some sort, right? You write out a few pages in your journal. You talk to someone or you talk to yourself on your phone or into a camera. Whatever you do, there's so many things that happen during a breakdown or during a breakthrough. It's not just a breakdown, but you have that moment, and just before it really hits, you have it really like happens, like that moment of breakdown happens. You might experience melancholy where you're just numb and nothing matters and everything's just dead. It might fluctuate between the anxiety of buildup and also the actual melancholy. But then after that, you're fine. You feel like you actually are lighter, you cleared something. Maybe you might have a little bit of a fried nervous system because of the emotional like intensity that you were going through, but once that has cleared the next day after like sleeping, 2 nights in a row, you will wake up actually feeling happy and refreshed. Like you have a bigger capacity for joy, and it's kind of just a case of like waves in and out of that occurring over and over and over again until you get to some proper roots and you rip the crap out of those roots, um, and just leave it. Wherever you need to leave it, you let it go, you let it sit, you let it be, and you open up to your own love, to seeing yourself for who you are, to admitting what you've been through, shining light on that, and actually sitting in good vibes instead of running away from it and hiding and fearing and worrying. Yeah, it can be scary to admit those things. Yeah, it can be scary to express them. But you're not doing yourself favors by running away from yourself and then never having happy moments because of it. Because you only have to have those happy moments with yourself. If you're not there, who's gonna have the happy moments? I'm just checking energetically what else to do. Spirit? Tarot or Oracle? Tarot. I think we're gonna just pull some cards to just like probably reaffirm what I just said. And then we're gonna move on to pile number two. You can do it. I believe in you. Some people didn't even make it through this reading, I gotta be honest. Not that it matters. I mean, it is what it is, whatever. But if you did make it through this reading, that means you've locked into a timeline where you are going to have this purge. And yeah, it might hurt, and it might be a somatic release for some of you. I am honest to God gonna say that from the heart, maybe even. So don't worry. Go check out, you know, yourself with doctors if you need to. Don't get into drugs. I don't know why I needed to say that. For some of you, it's like don't beta block specifically is what I felt like. Don't get anxiety medication because you'll fuck up the flow. You'll have it on the climax or the wave up, and then you won't have the process because you'll block it out. So don't, if you can. If you can't, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you'll have it in your own way in a different process. But if you're one of those people that constantly just takes drugs and substances to subside these feelings, don't do it. Do it after that. Do it after that if you need to or want to, but don't do it during or before it's happening when it's building up. Especially if you're hitting melancholy as well, don't do that yet. Some of you might actually be a water sign, but more so I'm seeing this as a very intuitive, emotional person that is quite empathetic. I was thinking it's upright, but it came out reversed. So you have talent and abilities and gifts, and you have dreams and desires, but you don't feel right, and you feel upside down, and you're not giving yourself time, space, or grace. Some of you're overworking, like you're workaholics. I feel like that's divine intervention, but there's something about putting yourself into like a limiting, like, I don't know, hierarchy of beliefs, like order, like social normalization, like an order of like something. What are you putting yourself into here? A box of order and disorder. So if you're like this, then you're cool, you're fine, you're okay. If you're the other way, you're broken down and desolate. You're so critical about when you treat yourself as yes, good and no, bad. And you don't even fit into that paradigm. It's very patriarchal. Some of you might have had abusive, trigger warning, fathers and are still coming back from that. Authority figures, but mostly you could have just also had like very controlling partners. I do feel like this is mostly fathers or like oppressive countries coming through, like oppressive governments and social norms and stuff like that. Trans just came through, so maybe that's relevant for you, being trans or something to do with trans, the journey. Either way, like you're fine the way you are. You don't need to go by like this little window of like this is how I'm good and this is how I'm bad and keep on going and judging myself like that. Like you know, you're so much more than that. And you're beautiful in all of who and what you are. Don't judge yourself by some type of like yes, no, crisscross like system that isn't even for you. It's there to control you and put you down and make you out to be the problem when you're not the problem. It's the people that made the rules that are the problem. They never freaking healed or fixed them, you know? They never healed from them either. You don't need to be strong and keep fighting in life. You need to give in to just being a bit emotional. You need to give in to being real and honest with how you feel and what you need to do and taking that first step and being like raw and real. And I feel like you've been feeling this, but I think you just have like this program that keeps coming after you over and over again. And I feel like you're such a strong individual in a way Even though like you have so much building up right now that it's kind of like if I give in, I don't know when I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna break down and I'm gonna lose it all. And it's like, no, you're gonna gain so much. You're gonna find yourself again. If you're nowhere close to this vibe, but you're still like here, this is a warning for the future. If you've been through this, you already understand that. I don't know. Maybe you're going through a review and that's why you're like looking back and having this reading. Because this is for people that are experiencing this like currently mostly, but I can sense there's different timeline aspects here as well. Like some people looking back, some people looking forward, and those are confused. Like, what the fuck is this reading about? And why is my third eye? Look, it's scary to look at yourself and your emotions, but if you do this for other people, you wanna be that person, you gotta do it for yourself as well. You gotta do it for yourself too, and you'll be fine. Just give in to what you need to feel. It'll come back better than ever for your emotional state and betterment. And it'll show you like a staircase you can follow. You just gotta trust spirit on this one, and then use your skills, emotional and spiritual, to benefit you in moving forward without being tough about it. Without like being a master or great or whatever. Like you're human too. You're human too. Even though you're talented, and you know so much already. Oh gosh, that was an interesting reading. Spirit, anything else? No. I send a prayer for everyone and anyone that has watched this to find themselves and give themselves some love and compassion on the journey of healing and feeling their emotions and figuring out their true heart and who they are and finding a God honest intention of that for themselves of like unconditional love and support and presence and compassion because you guys really need it. You're strong, but I just feel it, the avalanche, you know? Whew. I'm sending you love. Um, have just blessings to you, like prayers, and I wish you the very best. There's so much energy still coming through, like emotional, especially, but I'm just, I'm doing my best to kind of channel a little bit of it and release it, but also I can't keep sitting here. We're already kind of far in the reading. Not that I'm rushing anywhere or whatever, but I feel like I gotta end at some point somewhere, right? So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate your energy. I really do wish you the very best. And I will see you hopefully another time with a nicer reading that is about a victory or something. I don't know. I feel like if this pile pops up again, I'm gonna know that, it's this pile basically. So, peace be with you, blessings, and look after yourselves. See ya. Hello, lovely, beautiful people of Pile 2. You might be on the 1111 journey, whatever that means to you, because that can mean so many things. So many things. Um, some of you it's self-actualization. Some of you it's finding your portal home. Another few of you is dream realization, like embodying a mission of some sort, more likely than not. And others it could be romance. I'm gonna leave it at romance, and we'll leave it at that. Follow the rainbow even if you can't see it is what I'm getting with this. You ain't having a lot of fun. Color is kind of a little bit diminished in your life, and you're wondering if you're actually going to get to the end of this, if you're ever going to find peace within the process that you're going through, if you're going to find pleasure in your journey, if you're going to even understand who the fuck are you are, because I feel like some of you have lost your vision of who you truly are. Or you feel that way. I think you actually dug up more nuggets than you feel you have. But it's a tight experience currently right now. Like you're going through like this mountain crevasse and you can just about pass through it, but you need to be like quite precise in how you move and how you like contract and retract your muscles. You won't get stuck is very important to tell you. It's just like you need to be particular in the technique you use to go forward, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get stuck. And I feel like whatever you're going towards or where you're heading is promised to you. You will get it. It is aligned with you already. It's just you're figuring out your demons before you really go there. And some of you like have so much you're clearing and purging. Oh gosh. You're clearing and purging your family lineage, your higher soul, lower self stuff. You might be clearing some karma you've picked up along the way from other people. You can't let it go. Like, you can let it go, but some of it is just like a principle matter now, which is fair enough. You don't need it. You can let it go. I think some of it, there's only one or two things that like is requested by spirit and the divine of like, yes, please help us with this, but uh that's it. I don't need to let you know any more of like your like the details behind that because I literally just had a guide like pull me aside and be like, not that. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. Okay. Where are we going? What's happening? Why do I feel Lecturian energy? I don't know. Some of y'all just got some aliens in your rooms. If you heard a creak, and I just feel like, I literally felt like some Ecturian guides or helpers like drop in, like benevolent support and love and light. I don't know what they're gonna be helping you with, but they're gonna be helping you with something. Some of you who are like inventors and engineers, they'll help you with some schematics. Reversed or upright? Upright. Okay. So know something. Like these two are the most honest, truthful cards in the deck. Like these are both about knowing and truth revealed. Like this kind of reminds me of the world card and coming full circle. What the hell is with this? It's like he's holding sparkles and snowflakes. So you have unique understanding and knowledge about some type of divine truth, some type of secret. Conspiracies just came through, or conspiracy. If you're into that stuff, if you're not, don't look into it. Just, you're about to expose something. What are you? Oh, okay. So there's a few things. Exposing something, exposing someone, spiritual realm or physical. It doesn't matter because it could be just astral for some of you. Others of you, it's bringing an idea to fruition. It is gonna take time. It's not a over one night, over one day type of thing. It's supposed to be a bit of a longer road, so you don't miss anything along the way. You step everywhere you need to step. You get the experience you need to get. You feel the vibes you need to feel, and you have the awareness behind it. You don't gloss over any details. Okay, so look how the shadow is leaking everywhere. Right, but there's moonlight behind him, so there's still a bit of illumination. The transformation he's focusing on is also complete light, and the individual is yellow with red pants, which is standing in your power and knowing who you truly really are. and keeping your eyes on what matters, on the transformation, on the truth, on the knowledge, on the wisdom that you have, and what you're going to create in the future. What are you going to make? Why are you even going through this? Because there's a reason. You're experiencing this because you wanted something out of it, you wanted a result, you had a specific, particular, precise experience for yourself in mind. You wanted to feel a certain way living. And it's like this is the way you get through it. Kind of looks like the dude has a burlap sack or a potato sack for a shirt. So you've been through it. You've been you've been through dirt and mud and freaking digging and like working your ass off. Keep your eyes on the prize. You're almost there. Things will come full circle. You'll be appreciative of the journey. It just usually when you get through it, that's the time when you look back and you're like, oh, that was great. Maybe some parts sucks of it, but I wouldn't have gotten where I am. I wouldn't be the person I am. I wouldn't feel this way. I wouldn't know the things I know. I wouldn't have what I have. I wouldn't be, here. So you're gonna get there. Even if it doesn't look the way you exactly envisioned it, you're gonna feel like happy or that way that you wanted it to. It's just when you're traveling, you don't want to focus on how many minutes you're still gonna be waiting for the train, being on the train, how many stops. Like sometimes, yeah, it goes fast when you're counting everything like that, but most of the time it goes faster if you're having fun and being distracted with something else and doing what you do. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to have dips of like going through a bit of a reflecting period, maybe having an uncomfortable conversation, maybe looking at your shadow, maybe healing a wound, but ultimately, I think you're hyper focusing on the shadow aspect, like the shadow work, the darkness, the depression, the sad, the lack, the discomfort, whatever it is for you, you're focusing on that. I think something is kind of pulling you to feel that way more as well if you give in. Like there's some type of like devil energy here. Oh my God, that hurt my brain. That hurt my right side of the brain. Fuck off. No one wants you here. No one likes you. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, I think something. Eh, don't like that energy. Something is like pushing this despair onto you, and then you're feeding into it, and it's kind of like don't. Easier said than done, but like focus on what matters and is happy for you. And if you do need to heal wounds and look at the shadow, then do that. But you don't need to sulk and you don't need to stay stuck there, and it's gonna prolong everything. If you can find ways of being grateful, appreciative, spending time to make it go faster, and do something, then go ahead. I'm feeling pushed to share my example. Like for me, it's kind of currently video games. I don't feel pulled or happy to play everything like I would like to in some ways, but I'm also choosing to not be controlling on the matter of what I'm gonna play and if I'm gonna finish it, which is kind of annoying for my OCD brain, because that means I'm gonna come back to it. And some games, maybe I won't be able to play them in the future. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of enjoying what I can, doing what I do as much as I can to enjoy it. But every time I start shifting timelines, I can notice like that's it, I'm done with that game and I'm moving on to the next game and I keep going and time keeps moving and it really passes the time by for me. For you, it could be walks in certain regional or national parks. It could be taking like drives in the night or before bed or in the morning. It could be cycling. It could be drawing. It could be binging Netflix. I'm gonna be real. It could be reading books. It could be mixing a few things up. But like keep yourself going by when the vibe shifts, you take up a new thing to have fun with, and you keep having a new thing when the vibe shifts, but you also enjoy whatever you're enjoying for the fullest, even if it's a bit zoning out or mindless sometimes, or you've done it for so long it's a bit tiring at times or annoying, or if you still feel kind of stuck and stagnant, you're not. You're cruising by while you're being still. Be mindful is how it's coming across. And don't feed into that devil energy. That energy is bullshit. Truth revealed, the monsters behind the curtain is clarified with release. Make the unseen seen and set it free. Yeah, I still feel like you gotta be careful on that. Like, release, heal the wounds, delve into the shadow. Don't get stuck there because something is trying to keep you there. Because every time you heal something or you delve into it and you surpass something, you're leaving something behind. It could be someone, it could be an attachment, it could be a system, a paradigm, a society, a community, a group of friends. It could be anything. Whatever that is not good for you anyway. I think you already know and understand that, but it's like you can balance it out. It's trying to grip at you from wherever you've resonated with it before anyway. And it's kind of using those dark weaknesses to be like relevant in your life because it's realizing like it's not relevant and it's gonna lose a battery, whatever that thing is, because it's ambiguous. And then again, acceptance, unleash yourself with the knowing. Yeah, you gotta just speak more truth to yourself about how you do know your shit. Like, what you know. The future is going to happen. You are moving there. You're following the rainbow bridge, whatever it is for you. You're following the colors of your life. You're following your intuition. You're following the weird signs. You're following spirit. You're following your gut feeling, your dreams, your passions, something. You're following something. And you gotta just keep following it and feeding it and just feed it. And instead of feeding this, feed the other thing. Instead of feeding your fears, just release them. Face them, release them, let them go, and feed your passions. Feed yourself with your passions. Feed yourself to the passions. Like throw yourself in that fire, Let yourself be numbed by this little guy of your passions. You know what I mean? Let yourself be consumed, not in a way where it's driving you crazy and insane and like, you go all wonky and stuff, but enough for you to keep going, for you to feel alive and happy and just like things are actually working out. Because I feel like something is suffocating you and trying to keep you from jumping currently, right now, and when the time is going to be right. So, what else about that? I feel like I'm being pulled here again. That's the black box that's like speaking to the whole devil aspect. Like, look how many things are stuck in it. Like, look how many things are getting away and escaping, and you're one of those things. It's trying to grip at anything. And honestly, it's a collective energy for sure. There's many people on this journey, not to exclude your hardship or experiences, but it's to let you know you're a part of a collective that is liberating themselves and finding freedom away from a system that has not only neglected them, but has totally abused them and their power and left them gray, black and white and gray without any color in their life. And you are achieving color, but sometimes it does come from like, this type of experience, and then also it comes from kind of murky colors to get into the full vibrancy of like the rainbow, and the other stuff that it has. Like basically, I guess the best way I can describe it in terms of color theory is like you're going from the release card to the knowing card. And then after that, you're gonna hit all of the other ones. You're gonna go to truth revealed, to the universe is working fast when I'm having fun, and to the acceptance and whatever, which are the most colorful in the reading here. you yourself are discovering your many more aspects of color by releasing the darkness that has been instilled onto you. Because you are very colorful. I feel like you've been muted and silenced and kind of used and kind of yelled at a lot when you were a kid. Ooh, I felt that. What else, Spirit? We gonna do one last card and call it? We're gonna call it. Okay, after using one last card. Okie dokie. This one's gonna be long, isn't it? It's gonna be like 2 hours and I don't know what. Reverse or upright, Spirit? So it came out reverse, but they're telling me it's upright. You're going the right way. Keep focusing on where you're going, on what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You are beautiful, you are divine, you're righteous, and you're flying the right direction. Sagittarius could be like a part of this. Actually, that's a fun and interesting notion. I'm getting not just like Sagittarius, but if you know any mythology or folklore, either from your country specifically, it's funny how it can't focus on the goddamn card. If you know any mythology or folklore about a master huntsman, a huntsman in general, like but I feel like it's a master huntsman, and specifically, I'm imagining like I guess a centaur, like a like a the Sagittarius is a centaur, right? I think so, yeah, like a four-legged horse bottom with like a human body top, right? A torso on top of that, and also a head sometimes is this or that. It's either human or a freaking horse head or something else like that, or some type of other beast, depending on where you go. Something about that story or something about that mythology or folklore legend could be just the icon of it. Maybe you need to check out Sagittarius in a deeper level, because every zodiac has its own story, right? I believe I forgot everything I've learned about everything recently, so but I think Sagittarius has its own story besides like whatever it references in terms of hunters and centaurs and stuff like that. It has really interesting folklore that might resonate with you for some reason. I don't know why. So, yeah, shoot the shot, keep your focus, you're going the right direction, and everything will work out, regardless of how long it takes, how many ups and downs you get. But, look after yourself the best you can here. Yeah, thank you so much for spending your time with me here. I appreciate your presence and your time and your energy and sharing your story. Yeah, if you want to come back here, I would really appreciate like reading for you again. And if not, that's fine too. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful time and day. So, see ya. See ya. Best wishes to you and blessings. Hello, pile number 3. So, my vibes speak louder than my words. I am so animated today. I'm a bit humorous and I'm using my silly voice a lot and I love it. It's great. It's just, I don't know, today's an interesting day. 1919. As I'm starting to talk on the clock, on my clock. Probably not on yours. If it is on yours, then even more so of a sign. Which card? This one? That one? This one? This one's okay. And 3 off the top? Okay. It's really weird. I've channeled the card first for every pile except for you. I think I'm still gonna channel like the Oracle card, but I'm getting to the tarot right away, so it's really interesting. We also have like, wow, fuck, you're going through some shit, eh? Yeah, everyone's kind of going through some stuff right now, but this is just hitting different, like 9 of Pentacles reversed and 5 of Pentacles upright on the top and bottom of the deck. Like, come on. Put them down and back. Yeah, we don't need that energy up in here. Um, so this is I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, although sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes it might just be specific to some people, right? If you're a fire sign, this is specifically and especially gonna be hitting for you, so either warning or I don't know, has that synchronicity? You have not felt neither passionate nor attractive for a very long time. You're like stuck in the mud and you are constantly like cocooning caterpillar, never to become a butterfly is how it's feeling to you, and you're really, really, really kind of fed up with the time and the prospect of your presence currently. Like it's kind of like you have fire, you're attractive, you can do so much, you can make things happen, but then it's kind of like despite you understanding your worth and talent and that you could be living so much and doing so much, you're stuck at the Seven Pentacles with the Page of Wands, constantly letting go of attachments and fighting devils and demons, internal, external, whatever, and letting go of addictions, attachments, doing healing work, finding out you have more healing work to do, and it's just like never ending. And you've been in this lull of life for a really long time, and you're questioning like, why the fuck is this happening? Like, where do I move forward? What do I do? What do I do? Thing is, you're gonna be fine, although I feel like you're tired of hearing that. There's immense root work happening. You're also purging a lot from your sacral chakra. A little bit more specific to the women than to the men, but if you're a man, that's still happening for you. I think it's just happening differently. To the women, it's happening on multiple levels. To the men, I feel like it's more so like one or two, because to the women, it's happening on your womb trauma in multiple ways. So one, you having like mother wounds and like feminine lineage wounds, and if you have kids, there's something with that as well. I don't exactly know what. I don't know, some type of like grief about passing something down is coming across, and you really didn't want that to happen, but it still happened. You didn't have a chance to do it. Also could be a case of you're kind of pissed off at some of your kids because they're kind of mean and just not really nice to you, and there's family issues rising up because of that. It is what it is. I mean, happens, right? Happens vice versa and all of the rest. Family is complicated. Um, yeah, I'm not here to judge or say anything. I'm just gonna call it how it is, and I feel like you get it, so we don't need to linger on that. And the other one is partners. Every partner you've had, doesn't matter if it's a guy or a gal. There's a thing with women that happens that they kind of like it's a portal, right? You can suck up grief and resentment and a bunch of other really dark things, and it can kind of get stuck if you don't do womb clearing and cleansing and reclaiming yourself and your sacral area and womb aspect and sacral chakra and getting into your own like creative energy and passion and like being sovereign and strong within that aspect and that point. Um, some of you will have more sensitivity with that than others, which is why I'm speaking so softly. Because it's a sensitive topic, ain't it? Um, so yeah, I would recommend checking out how to do some of the releasing and womb clearing. If you can find a specialist, go to the specialist. If you have a good church, don't need to tell them, but you might be able to ask either way. Because if you have a good church, the priest will understand, or I don't know, maybe some of you have cool churches that actually have priestesses. I don't freaking know, or nuns. Um, but they can help you. I don't know how the heck they can help you, but that's really strong. Like someone that has a good, faithful, divine church will have assistance with that. And if that's only if you do have a really good church. I really need to preface that. Like, I am so specific about having a safe, good church that's not fear-mongering and is not full of righteousness and zealousness, zeal, whatever, righteous zeal, that it's unhealthy. That it's actually a faithful, healing church full of love and compassion and support for the followers and the flock, I guess, as it were, or the family, whatever you want to call it, not the culty type. Anyway, um, I feel like that was a bit humorous to some of you, so yay. Men, for you, it's kind of a little bit reverse. Like, it's actually if you were oppressive to your partners, also if you were actually kind of oppressed or used or neglected, especially like if you were oppressing or you were the oppressed, either which way, that's the primary of how it could get stuck for you with you. And either way, I see I can see and feel that it like really kind of festered a lot of like anger and repressed emotions that just spiral out and you have a short fuse. So clearing and cleansing your sacral area energy is going to be important to reconnect with your feminine side, but also with your victim side either way, because I feel like if you were oppressing other people, it was out of you being victimized somehow anyway, especially emotionally, especially usually as a child, seeing bad examples and growing up. But usually, even then, like if you see those bad examples, you are somehow neglected emotionally too and put down, right? So for the men, it's mostly that if you haven't had too much of that, there's still a little bit of that, and it can be kind of tuning into something about like being creative, so being emotional and artsy fartsy and stuff like that. I don't mean it in this disrespect, but I'm just I guess saying trigger words that could have related to certain oppressing like experiences where you feel you feel repressed. You feel repressed. And also for women, obviously the whole intuitive emotional like thing is also coming through and creativity, but I don't know, all of the womb stuff is more important there than with the whole creative part for men. That's just how it's coming across in this reading. No gender specific things in terms of like this is how it works and no, 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 it's just that's how it's coming across for this reading. That's it. It's way more complex than that. There's so much more detail and everyone can experience different things when it comes to energy work and chakras and other stuff. We are not delving into social justice and like liberal norms and bullshit like that. We are just reading energy and cards. Um, but those things do apply to those genders, and if you are somewhere in the middle or you don't like identifying, you figure it out. I'm I'm just, you know, relaying the messages. So, what's up? You're not telling me, and there's a surprise waiting for you. Something's about to shift. The levee's about to break. And I think the metaphorical levee is like where you've been kept away and limited and not supported and in pain and isolation and just not having things work out. So for this pile, I do feel like you couldn't get a job easily if you've been looking for a job for a very long time. You can't find a partner. You can't find a stable home. You can't have a good enough income to feed yourself, your family, and whatever else you need. Like, stuff just kind of keeps on breaking. You get a new car, that fucking breaks. You can't get a new car. You only can, like, rent or something. That's especially if you're like I don't know, like some type of taxi, Uber driver, Bolt driver. But something's about to be surprisingly good to you. I don't know what, some type of blessing or a sign of a blessing or reoccurring signs of blessings. If you keep getting the same message of things are gonna work out, but it's been like months, trust the message. I personally really do understand how annoying it can get, but you're doing so well. Despite the circumstances, despite the pain, despite what you've been through, despite the abuse and neglect and everything else, despite knowing your worth and not having life turn out the way you needed or wanted to, or how you expected to, or like despite all of everything and you being awesome and just things not working out, you're still breathing, you're still going, you're still awesome. You're still like really quite beautiful and unique, and things are gonna work out. There's an emotional maturation happening, but there's also like a deeper spiritual reason to why this is happening, and it is bridging two worlds. It's bridging your current crap reality in a way to a new reality. It's gonna be okay. I just feel like I need to say it. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, you're making it through a lot of crap, but you'll feel on top of the world again eventually as well. And instead of just being like Queen of Wands that just came out of like Page of Wands energy, I feel like you're gonna be the sun. I think you're gonna encompass so much affluence and attraction and fire, but also you're going to be a lot more mature than just like fleeting with it. Some of you are still gonna be like a fiery, like quick moving, energy that maybe sometimes just goes into like quick passions and other things, but a lot of you are going to become like this whole new version of yourself that becomes a major arcana card, not a suit, not a queen or a king or whatever resonates for you. No, it doesn't feel like an emperor situation. It literally just feels kind of like sun. I don't know, just the sun. Um, You're going to provide a lot more nurturing for your kids if that's relevant to you, and if it's not, you're going to be able to give a lot more life to things that you're going to make and create, and startups are going to be awesome for you if you're into like business or investments. And you're kind of like good with that, or you have experience or a talent. Sales is also coming through. Like you're gonna be on a streak. Personal business is gonna work out when whichever one you get to. I feel like it might be like a couple start up and then the third one actually works, and the other two obviously like don't. But whatever is relevant to you and bringing life to it, or giving it sunlight and all that good, amazing, awesome jazz, you're gonna get there. It's gonna end. It's gonna come together. You're going to find yourself in a place like you've never been before. Let's get more tarot, apparently. It is gonna be funny if we get the sync card. We'll see what we get. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Mm-hmm. Three of the top. Three of the top. Strength. I mean, that's kind of close, right? Okay. So we're gonna get to the top and bottom eventually, but we're gonna talk about this first. So you're releasing your entire life up till now. Literally every single like emotional investment you've had, emotional relationship you had. I feel like some of you just said like I know. Yeah, I know. This is just confirming what you know. That's kind of the point of the reading. But it's also a reminder of how big this is, because I feel like you're such a fast-moving energy. You get shit done, you change real quick, you go through life circumstances and stages so fast that you forget you're actually human. You're actually living in a 3D reality. And energy needs time to catch up to physical manifestations in the way that you need them to be for your highest good, or for them to be cohesive in what you actually want to feel and experience. I.e., you could have the quick, fleeting, surface level example of the experience you want, but it wouldn't actually be sustainable. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be healthy. It wouldn't be happy. It actually might actually like drive you into a place you don't want to be in. So it's like this is the universe telling you they're guaranteeing your results because you move fast, but they need to figure some shit out because there's a lot happening on the planet currently. There's a massive shift, there's massive changes, and everyone's included. Everyone's included. Everyone has their time because when one person gets sorted, another person can get sorted. And everyone kind of has their own like place and role within the entirety of it all. So do you within your life and process as well, right? Um, until you get complete closure on all of the past wrongs that you've went through, until you heal your chakra system and wounds as it's coming through, and the womb, yet again, sacral energy for whoever doesn't have a actual womb. Um, until you can let all of that go, you don't need to forgive all of them or all of those situations, but you do need to let it go so it doesn't stay neither in your mind nor your heart nor your like body, because you're a bit open to neglect, you're a bit open to negativity, and you're also a bit sensitive, and you're just like you're still a caterpillar. You're not that butterfly ready to fly, but you're very close and you're doing perfectly well and you're doing everything you need to. And yes, it is annoying, but you're doing great. And keep doing what you're doing. There's no other recommendation here because it's just gonna take time. It's just gonna take time. Some of you are like, do I need to be more like specific in what I'm manifesting, my vision board or other things and etc. And it's like, no. Do I need to end things and other stuff? I mean, if you'll need to, they'll call to you, but I feel like it's also a no. It's just like you're in between of worlds. You're not actually traveling to anything. You don't need to quite look at it because you've posted all of your like manifestations to spirit. You just need to like stay strong in the unknown and go through the process that you need to keep going through. Because it's not it's not easy. It really doesn't feel easy. None of this does. You gotta be your best self when you feel like at your lowest currently and like your worst self. And you don't really have too much support, I feel like, or it's bare minimum support, very much measly stuff. Like maybe someone brings you groceries every now and again, or can loan you a buck or two, or like your landlord is like, it's okay if I gotta wait like 3 more months for your rent or something like that, which is still really nice and good, but it doesn't necessarily alleviate your stress, right? Or worries, or like where is it gonna, all fall apart, or when am I actually going to get my lucky break finally? Like, please God, could you save me? Um, You will let go of this devil energy in full. You will heal completely. None of your past will ever bother you again. You will not be stuck in limbo for too much longer. Yes, you are in between of worlds, and yes, you only really need to keep doing the Seven of Pentacles with the Page of Wands and strength, because you are completely blind, and some surprise will happen when Spirit figures out the nooks and crannies, and it kind of like all lines up. Like you just start feeling better and then everything else like adds up as well within the universe, within other people you're going to be connecting with, and those circumstances just happening and like occurring like that. It will be a radical timeline shift, I feel like for you, but it's kind of a case like of you need to spend that time before you get there, and there's no avoiding it. As the best you can do is just look after yourself, look at, where you can get money, where you can get support. If it doesn't work, don't sweat it. Don't give into it too much. Do your healing and your cleansing and whatever is mentally supporting. Like especially the church is coming through again, so like words of prayer, whatever, however you commune with spirit yourself if you don't go to church, if you do like divination or you channel your guides or meditation or spiritual walks. I really also recommend this pile, like run white light, white pure light, or holy light, whichever resonates for you, through your stomach, and just have that like as a little bit of a thing you do, like for 15 minutes, like twice a day. It might help soothe some of the emotions you're going through, and it might help you feel clearer to check out some other things you could be doing to support yourself either financially or in terms of resources, or getting out of like your own way when it comes to asking for help or receiving it, because I feel like, yeah, you're in a underwhelming situation where you gotta ask for help but you'll receive it, instead of how people, might not receive it and end up on the streets and stuff like that. And be grateful for what you can, like the blessings that still occur, even though it's hard, because that really reinstates to the universe of like, okay, I can keep sending you this then, because you like this, and I'm gonna keep sending it. And it's not to be grateful for the hardship or other stuff necessarily, but for things that make it a little bit easier, or make it feel like, you just made it through another day. Because for some of you, it is that intense. For others of you, it might just be like a week to week thing, a month to month thing. You keep it cool, but then you have like a rough patch or something, or it's not as extreme. But for some here, I do feel like it's like almost like a mother that's keeping a hold of a fucking household, looking after the kids, going to food banks, and really at their like, I want to cry. I really want to cry. Oh my God, at their wits' end. And it's kind of like, I can't keep doing this. I really can't. This is too much for me. Please, God, save me. This is a lot. Okay, is that enough? Are we doing any more? Yeah, we're shuffling a little bit. Oh, I'm an emotional reader, so don't worry about me. I'm fine, but I was just feeling that. Oof, I was really feeling that. Okay, what are the cards? Oh, jeez, gosh darn it. So the thing is, these aren't upright yet, but they're gonna be upright at some point. So don't you worry too much. You have the star and the focus card one step at a time reversed. So this is about you. You will have your time when you're gonna need to shine more so than right now, but you're actually gonna feel more capable and like there's more options and choices for you, and everything's going to be okay. Like you can focus on just taking that one step at a time. I think you just need to let go a little bit of those emotions to start feeling this. I don't think this is like the success at the end of the journey. I think this is a mindset change of like, look, maybe I'm making it, bare minimum to bare minimum, but at least I can see every step, and I take it and then I sit on the fucking step and everything's fair enough, fine enough, and then I just keep doing it over and over again, and then you're gonna feed yourself with compassion and kindness and support and seeing like how badass that is. Cool people and badass, awesome, amazing souls aren't people that just have it all and are just great looking and charismatic and attractive and have like a bunch of money and in the bank and everything works out for them and they just shine like that star. No. People that really go through the biggest, shittiest life circumstances and are courageous despite their struggles and pain and fear and keep going forward and focus on that one step at a time. What when they're at their last freaking ounce of, what do you call it, patience? Those are the people that are freaking cool and awesome because they do some stuff that most people could not, because it's a breakdown type of scenario. You're constantly on the edge. and you're making everything work with what you have, and it's hard, but you are doing it, and I commend you because like it's just a bit of a shift of not seeing yourself as like someone that's so victimized and messed up and in such a bad spot. Like, yeah, admitting where you are and what's happening and the rock bottom is good, but also giving yourself slack that you are actually making the best out of the worst situation. And most people do not have that backbone, especially if everything was handed down to them or given on a freaking silver platter or fed them by the spoon. Like, come on, you know? And you're being a great example for your kids if you are a parent, male or female or in the middle or whatever. Or the everything, the rainbow of it, right? Like you're beautiful. Like I feel like I want to keep those cards upright because it's this is the top and bottom of the situation. Like foundationally, you're a star, you're amazing, you're awesome. You're doing the best out of the worst and you're shining through it. And at the top of the situation, which is a surface level like thing that's just gonna it's a temporary matter. It'll shift and change. You are taking that one step at a time, staying focused to get better and elevate and make it through, and you're a great shining example. You're also showing your like stuff, like what you're made out of, you know? So you, the distance isn't as far as it looks, although it does look really, really, really kind of not great, and there's like a humongous ball pit between you and going through a doorway. You'll make it. Like, look how bare bones the dude is, but Spirit is looking after you. And there's gonna be an angelic message of some sort that leads you to move or to take a chance. And that's going to actually open up the doors to receive and to actually, like, shift. Like, everything's gonna start happening after that. I got shivers when I said that, so confirmation. Like, especially on the shoulders, like as if you're carrying a weight. So you don't feel strong, but you are strong. And poetry and inhibited intuition. I think you understand. You're very intuitive and you have a lot of wisdom, but it's kind of like you don't give yourself credit and trusting because having faith is hard. That's all, you know, anyone can say. Having faith when shit is not working is hard. Having trust in oneself that you're not crazy or insane is hard. Believing in like magic, miracles, blessings, unique happenings, and the higher power looking after you, and you not being alone, you having ancestors and guides with you when like life is going to the fucking, you know, bucket is hard. But understand that you're not wrong, I feel is what's coming across. Like ask for signs, you know, follow that intuitive niggling, do what you need to stay connected, to stay like faithful with yourself and your own life, with your own spirit's soul's journey, and whatever you believe in, which I think most of you would be like God of some sort. I don't know, like the religion, it mostly feels like Christianity, but it could be anything, honestly. But trust yourself, trust the signs, and you're gonna keep having them until you choke on them. Not literally. I take it back. There's a better way of wording that. Until you drown in the ball pit of messages. I don't know. I'm sorry. I tried being humorous. It's not working. But I feel like someone said like it worked a little bit. Thank you. uh, but yeah, just they'll keep sending you messages until you get tired of it, basically, until it's like now I can get a break. I heard you, I believe you, I understand, but I just like look at the circumstance and situation. Like what the you know? Anything else? Um, I just want to send you a little bit of a prayer of like I pray for your for your life to be successful and for life to be successful for you in general. Um, for you to make it through your storm, for you to find what you need at every point of it, for you to believe in yourself and your journey, and for you to understand and know and feel to the bone, like inescapably, that you are protected, you are loved, and you are supported by the divine. Because I believe that to be true for you from like the cards and the vibe I'm feeling. And I know you will make it through this. I just, I'm wishing that for you too. So that's just me. I've done two prayers this reading, and you're like the second one. So yeah, um, I think that's everything. Yeah. Thank you. I feel like someone said thank you, so I'm just saying thank you. To you back. I almost said you're welcome though, because I keep hearing someone respond. So if that's you, shout out. Um, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for doing your best and showing up the best you can, even when you don't want to and you don't feel like it. Thank you for spending your time sharing your story, having this reading. I appreciate you here. I appreciate your energy and your presence. And I hope to see you in another one. Yeah, I wish you the very best and, much, much success and blessings and miracles for you to find on your life's path, for it to just come to you and be like smack, like you're all right now. So, yeah. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Hello, pile number four. Um, Thank you for joining into the reading. I don't know why I wanted to thank you right away. I just felt like it. Ugh. Okay, so you guys are kind of actually like coming full circle on some things. You're actually like at the very last part of your shadow work, your ascension process, your elevation, your portaling, your moon cycling, whatever it is. Your life stages closing in and out. You completely ending something so you can begin anew, so you can start fresh. But it's not happening yet because you haven't let go of something quite yet. Because we have like completion and sacrifice, and both of these cards are literally kind of, going hand in hand here. This one literally is like the oneness is my true nature part, but this is like also talking about endings and completion, coming full circle. Some of you might want to read about the snake that eats its own tail, like the mythos behind that. Um, But yeah, the sacrifice, like you keep looking, it actually has a really good depiction. You keep looking at the transformation and what you need to let go, but it's actually out of reach. You're not really, it looks like it's in reach, but it's actually not. You're not touching it yet. You're not embodying it yet because you need to let go of something. Or I guess in a way you could also look at it like you need to let go of whatever part you're transforming currently. It's a big part of your identity. I think it will actually initiate an ego death, but you don't want to be that person anymore anyway. You're just attached to it, and the ego is attached to you because it doesn't want to keep dying over and over again, not knowing how it's gonna feel after that, right? Like what type of person are you gonna be? Where are you gonna land? What's life gonna deliver to you? Where you, what? Like a lot of questions and uncertainty within that. Also, excuse me, I need to pause. So I think there's painful purges with this pile. Um, Painful purges. So if you're a woman with moon cycle, experiences, you might be having severe cramps. If you're actually being like sick or having stomach issues, it's kind of painful. If you're having sniffles, runny, leaky nose, or like I don't know, like a cold that keeps coming and going, it's very irritating on the nose, on the eyes, on the breathing, on the coughing, on the everything. It's just very irritating and unpleasant and maybe even a little painful. But it's kind of like also nothing in a way. Like the doctors don't really have anything for you, or you don't need to go to the doctors for some reason. Either way, you're kind of stuck in a bit of a loop ending. It's kind of like a limbo could be described, but also it could be described as like an ending bit. You keep going through and you keep going through and keep going through and you just don't come out of it, neither one end or the other. You're just kind of like spiraling there, right? Thing is, your heart is complete. I think you're just afraid of who you are. If you let go of this aspect of your ego and who you believe yourself to be, then you will not be who you thought you were. You will understand that you're maybe a lot more of whoever you inherently spiritually actually are. So maybe you're more quirky, maybe you're more emotional and less logical, maybe you're less of a workaholic, maybe you're not into whatever office jobs there are, you're more into being an artist. That one's kind of terrifying for most people. But really, if you if you're in the corporate world, eventually you get tired and you want to leave, or you get it like you supply yourself with like a hobby that's creative to even keep yourself going with your ambitions there if you're meant to be there. But I feel like you are doing like a 180 in a way because things are coming full circle and like what you avoided and who you were always meant to be. But you can't see it. You can't understand it. It's just uncomfortable. It's just discomfort, and you don't want to let go of this thing. And I can't tell you what this thing is because it's so personal to you. You don't want, like, you would like to first get acquainted with what the heck it is, then to just like have it told to you, you know? Like, oh yeah, just let it go. It's fine. That doesn't work in spirituality because one, you'll trigger the person, they'll shut down possibly. Two, you're learning for a reason, and that's through not knowing and being silly or making mistakes. And three, it's a cooking kind of process. It's a maturation. It's alchemy, which is kind of like chemistry and physics, on a, interpersonal, individual level. Also soul, metaphysical level. So why are you like the snake that eats its own tail? I guess you just keep going round and round and round. Like the snail, oh, not the snail, the snake that eats its own tail. I think you're super, I don't know, why is like an extroverted like Wall Street person coming through? Extroverted like person that's noticeably successful, smart, has the monies, is really attractive, interesting, intelligent, doesn't just have the attention of the room, but is always right. Even if you're wrong, apparently, people are just gonna be like, yeah, yeah. Just because you're so. It's not that you're intimidating in a bad way. It's more like you have such a strong presence and you sound so smart and like you know your stuff that people just can't argue. Um, and some people don't argue with you just because of like the ego front you have, like the bravado. Like it's better to just leave you being wrong than to argue truth with you for some people. Ouch. Yeah, I know, sorry. It just came through. What else? What are you afraid of sacrificing? I think you're afraid of sacrificing, and this is just a stab in the dark. I think you're afraid of sacrificing the point that your stability comes from something more inherently you that isn't as definable as intellect or being like finance savvy. corporate savvy, whatever it is, savvy, right? That it's actually more of like a sensitive, vulnerable, intimate aspect of your personality and identity, and it is strong, but I think there's something you viewed as a weakness previously within other people, and so you've dolled up to be this super confident extrovert person that knows their shit within the career aspect that they've embodied, that it's just so scary to admit that you're not that. You just made a living out of it, and you thought that's how you would survive within society and everything, that it just became who you are to this toxic extent of becoming like a fake um, shell. Yeah, fake shell. You're like not even an animal that needs a shell. You're not a turtle, you're not a crab. You thought you were, but you're actually something a little bit more, I don't know, naked than that. You don't need a shell, is how I'm getting it. Like, I don't know what your shell is, but you don't need it. You just think you need it because you feel like so soft. You feel like you need the exoskeleton so you can be, I don't know what it is, but I don't think you're that soft. It's kind of like as if like obviously crabs and other things and clams need it because they're super soft, right? Like they are basically gelatinous bags of like I don't know tissue and stuff like that, right? Um, but in this case, it's not like you're even shedding that. You are not even that. You're not that. You have tougher skin. You're a whole different species. I think you just grew up around crabs and turtles and shit, and then you were just like, oh yeah, that means I'm the same, right? And it's like, no, you were never the same. Yeah, you might know some characteristics, just like I don't know, a dog might become like a cat or a cat becomes like a dog when they're around a specific like household or with, they grow up with them, which is super cute and adorable. But besides the point, you aren't that. You've adopted understanding and characteristics and mannerisms, and they suit you well. You actually are more agile than you would be, or something like that, right? You're more savvy, you're more smart, you're more critical. But you aren't that thing. Just like let's say a dog that was around cats becomes like a cat is super agile, right? It's way more flexible. It's also a little bit more picky and choosy, but it still retains its emotional nature and stuff like that. And vice versa. You can check that out if you want to. There's so many examples in the animal kingdom, but you need to get out of your shell because it's not suiting you no more. You're limiting yourself. You're keeping yourself away from your future. I wanted to say future spouse, or I heard it in my head. If you single, that was for you. If it's like very hard, because like you're, I don't know, a prince or a princess, basically type of vibe, and you're looking for a prince and a princess to create a kingdom with, and to be happy. And you just keep finding people that don't resonate, like they are not on the same wavelength. Yeah, you don't see yourself. You really avoid freaking. You like the Maya, and the Maya is the illusion of reality. It's the 3D aspect of just the insanity and the rat race that everyone goes by. You were successful in the rat race. You were the big shot. You called the shots. You were like a shark in the freaking nature of like whatever. But you're not that person no more. You grew and you became so heartful that it's now consuming you. And the water's gonna keep rising until you actually like take a look at the reflection, if you know what I mean with the card visualization here. Because you keep just ignoring it, staying in your heart, in your mind actually, just staying stuck in your mind. Everything's trying to get their attention. Um, your attention towards them. I feel like I keep stumbling over my words and getting stuck. Just I keep getting stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck. I feel like you're trying and you want to get out of your way, but you just keep getting stuck. And you don't need to do much. You just need to kind of stay still for a bit longer than 5 minutes to actually like get input on what the fuck you actually are, like who you are. Because that part is trying to claw out. You're just not happy that it's making you let go of this part of yourself that you had strength behind, that made you feel capable. And you might not want to live the life you're currently living after you do this. You're gonna be like, well, it's time to change job, and I've been in this job for 10 years, or this like sector for 15 years. Like I'm a fucking specialist by now. Starting over fresh and from scratch in a whole different like subject, that's hard. I feel like some of you are definitely getting this. You're like, tell me about it. Like, yeah, I know. You'll do fine. Just take a vacation if you can. 3 days will do. But you need to go out of your routine and norm as well. You can't just stay doing the same stuff you would do on a weekend. You need to go out into a cabin or on a, I don't know, walk or hike or actually maybe stay in a weird catatonic mode where you only order Chinese and pizza and watch movies and do self-reflective like monologue, like tape recordings to your phone and stuff like that. Maybe call some people and ask about life that actually might understand or know you and not judge you. Like they won't get worried about you or whatever, stuff like that. They'll be like understanding, like you have an inkling like they know something that you don't because they've seen you from the outside and you haven't. Like some people can do that with their exes, right? And they actually get answers on who the fuck they were, and they're like, oh God. Well, at least now I know and I can change. Other people can ask their best mate, their friend, or even their mother and father and stuff like that. Some people might just have a weird conversation with a stranger. Others of you are going to do this completely solo, like cold turkey solo. Figure out what is getting out of your norm and do it with the intention of like figuring out what you need to let go to be your fullest like authentic self. Say that to yourself. Ask a few times in different ways. Put it in a statement within your mind and self that you feel emotionally or on your heart or mentally. You just really like you can feel it within your body. Something like that. You need to make it a proper intention because you're really good at escaping yourself. Like you need to make it like your mind is like a computer. You can program it to do actions, and if you give it certain questions, especially questions, but also commands, it will respond in the most adequate, like allocated time. So it will know like, okay, we're gonna need this emotional little breakdown on our way to the grocery store or when we're driving out of work or something. Or I'm gonna actually call in sick today because I'm mentally incapable and I need to figure this out. I need to ruminate, and your psyche brings through like those understandings and realizations and stuff like that. So do the things that might help you with that because it will come up. You don't need to force it, even if it doesn't happen right away. And if you are doing something random, then yeah, enjoy it, do that. Maybe some of you it's as easy as like having a drink by the fireplace and really contemplating shit. Cause some of you are just kind of like that. You're those type of people. Like some people need to go be a yogi on the top of a mountain. Others just need a cold brew and a smoke by a fireplace. Uh, Everyone's different in different parts of life, right? So. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. And before anyone yells at me for condoning unhealthy actions and etc., look, don't shame. Don't shame, okay? Don't shame. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You know. You know already. You're an adult, and if you're not, then you shouldn't be watching my videos. And if you are, and you know you can and it's fine, then you don't do that. You're still too young. And if you do that, Jesus Christ. I thought my generation was the ones that finished it and were done with it. I guess not. I've heard some shit about the younger generations. But moving on anyway. A little bit of a break talking about some stuff like that, eh? Sideways, it's sideways. So something is halted before it starts moving fast and going and just like just going, going, going. Something's gonna smack you. No, never mind. Sorry, sorry. Just felt like a thing, but that was actually for me. That wasn't for you. Um, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to know. Yeah, so this is just reaffirming like you don't you don't do things in a slow manner that is kind of just sitting with it in a nurturing space where you kind of like spend time with yourself, spend money on yourself, realizing things, figuring them out. You honestly keep yourself kind of thinking about what to do next and analyzing, figuring things out, intellectualizing, having proper statements, proper opinions, proper ideas, proper thinking. Like you're a very analytical, heady person that constantly is about like, I need to think the right things, I need to be smart, I need to be on my feet, I need to be right, always right. It's a defense mechanism. If you slow the fuck down and you spend some money on yourself and you just do nothing for a bit, and you just eat good food, watch good stuff, listen to good music, have a walk, you know, enjoy yourself like that, you actually provide needed space for the human condition, mind, body, and soul. It's an emotional release as well, and is scientifically proven. Constantly having informational overload does not assist anyone because your brain is a natural built biochemical computer. So it needs downtime when it's not doing anything to actually reallocate understanding, feelings, facts, knowledge, and information, and also for you to generate your own understanding and opinions, and also apply a certain structure that is the most beneficial to your life, to your functioning, to your processing, to your experience. So you, as a person that avoids that, literally needs to kind of go on a pamper sesh, go to a spa. I don't a nail salon. Actually, apparently, nail salons is just great for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Men say it's a great way to relax, and then you feel like, like a diva in a masculine way, 'cause like, not just self-pampering, but looking tidy. Have like a massage, have like an aromatherapy session, color therapy really would be good here. Going to just a proper like clinic spot, not where it's just beauty, but also where it's like de-stressing, nervous system like reconfiguration, like basically having that dump all of the negativity or the stress or the amp and then relax actually muscles and bones also being like properly reassessed by either magnet therapy, electrotherapy, proper massages, relaxation therapy of different sorts, like actually like scientifically based stuff, right? Not the woo-woo stuff. Those are really gonna be beneficial for you. Buy yourself a present with a good intention. Like, do it on a day that's like just chill and happy so you can be even happier with that thing afterwards and have it like something that I don't know. I feel like you need to buy yourself something just for fun. Like, I keep being pushed to give examples. So this is the example I have. The first thing I bought myself that was like a real coming back to my inner child thing was the color projector I use behind myself in podcasts and other things. I actually wanted it to be better than that, but I love it. I still love it because it's a colorful decoration and it's moving lights. And even if it's not moving lights, because it has different like selections. I'm not a fan of the lasers, but overall, like it's a good thing. It just was happy for me. Like my inner child was happy because I love multiple colors. I didn't have a lot of like really bright stuff, neither in terms of like colors or clothing or like and anything like on that front. Um, so yeah, it was my thing to kind of like reconnect there and feel like I spent a good amount of money, wasn't too expensive, wasn't too cheap, and it's gonna stay for a while. And I keep having that reestablished feeling of a little bit of a yay within myself, even if I'm like completely dull when like open the cupboard and take it out. It's just a relaxing thing for me because I needed more color and I appreciate that, and I never had that. So I don't know what your equivalent would be, but figure it out. Don't buy yourself an adult thing. I feel like you need to buy yourself a kid thing. Um, some people will find it easier than others. Don't feel guilty or ashamed. Like figure out how to do it in a way that works for you. Ask your inner kids for help as well. Like ask them for assistance. Because until you do this, nothing's gonna end. You got the world on the world on the world. You got three cards that's basically like a world card. So you gotta get back to center to things that actually matter and give you a purpose and really make you feel human, not just thinking, doing, being like a robot. Because you're smart, you're intuitive, some of you are very much caring, even individuals. Of you are just smart. Not to say you don't care or give a shit about anything, but it's just a case of like, you know what I mean. But you need to do something like that, like shift yourself out of it to actually like let this close out and shift out and change, and then you'll feel like things are flowing. Like everything's gonna spontaneously move and change and redirect and become way better for you. But until that happens, it's gonna be stagnant. Like you are just on the precipice and things quickly changing and moving, and every single opportunity that comes up and passes you by is gonna be like an irritating reminder that you need to do something. I feel like you've experienced a few things already. That it never ends. It never ends. What am I doing wrong? It's like you need to let go of an attachment, an ego idea of who you are, but you aren't. And do it through, a weird leisurely activity that gives you a space to do nothing or to get out of the house or get away or I don't know, act in a different way. Do something completely out of the fucking norm for you not that would be like the most counterintuitive thing that feels right, that just flows, that just like I just need to do this or it doesn't make sense, but it fucking feels right or I can do this like it. Because I feel like you do have a connection to something like a flow or an intuition or you see signs or something. I don't know, you see something. You have a truth that you can follow of some sort. Like you have a connection of some sort with the divine for sure. And some of them really are trying to help you their darkness. Like your guys are like screaming at you with love. But yeah. Anything else? You won't lose your grip on who you won't lose your grip on being self-sustained and independent. I feel like I need to reiterate that. Yeah, you'll be in a different ballpark in many ways, financially and etc. This is going to introduce a lot of change, but you'll be fine. You'll be stable, you'll be self-sufficient, you'll have enough, and you're going to feel better about it. But everything's going to change. I feel like you just need to know that, yeah, everything's going to change. You were right about that, but you just need to accept that this is going to be like a new way of living, new way of earning money, sustaining yourself, feeding yourself, dressing. I don't know, maybe you'll throw out a bunch of shit, move house, something else. But you need to accept yourself before this happens in the real world. So, and you're not gonna be seen as weaker or less than. People that will, you'll see them as your past version that was judgmental on the same type of people that you will become, if that makes sense. If you've had that before, which I think that kind of clicks some things in for some people. But besides that, like if someone's gonna judge you, it's probably because like they're jealous on a level or they're blind, and you will just understand like I figured something out. Like fuck, I'm yeah, because most people are gonna actually respect you more. They're gonna find you more interesting, and they're gonna like you more for who you are, because you're gonna take a leadership position in a different way in your life. Because taking this type of change and shift ain't easy, you know? It's not an easy thing. So no, okay, that's it. I just checked and we're done. That was the last thing I needed to mention. The energy went away. Ooh, that was a lot. I just feel like you're very overburdened with thoughts because now I feel so lighter, so much lighter. I feel so much better. Thank you so much for getting a reading. I really appreciate you being here and spending this time. Yeah, let me know if this helped with the like. You don't need to do anything else, and if you don't, it's fine too. But I will hopefully see you in whenever I see you, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day and everything works out for you. So, bye. Hi, pile number 5. How you doing? Hope you're well. I am the loving energy of the universe, is what you got. What? Put the deck down, channel the card. Okay. Um, you're coming out of darkness. You're about to shine like a star. So success is coming your way. Either partnerships. Just don't think about that. Keep shining. Keep being a star. Keep living your life. If it's a job you're looking for, then you're about to find it, or get a job, or really go out job hunting and have success. And like you're gonna need to like pick and choose from the interviews which one suits you and is the job you want to have. Maybe you're gonna find an opening in a place locally that is gonna be like a nice fit for you for a gap, right? Or something. Maybe you're going to find something that you can work on online if that was important for you. Whatever you've been manifesting is gonna come to fruition. This is so weird. I'm staring. I was asking if something astrally is happening. It's not. I was staring at like the thing that's holding up my freaking camera up here, and I'm like, what do you want me to say? And it's like you're gonna have something in the like a nail or a cog or something starts turning, where it's like it gets in place to hold up whatever the entire like thing you want to make or do. I feel like that is important for someone or relating. That is the most weirdest fucking way I've gotten a message. So, yet again, it feels like you have some other stuff already prepped or built or like preloaded and or planned ahead, but you don't have the foundation that would hold it up. You don't have something that would be the base of it yet in life terms. So, you want to move house, you need a job. Simple example. You also want a car change. Maybe you want to get into a new hobby, and the only way you can do that hobby effectively is if you're a traveling nomad. Whatever the case might be for you. Family, right? You need to get to the family business stuff. You need a partner, and you want a partner that you are actually going to love, so you can create a loving family, or something along those lines. Um, Whatever it is, you are getting your cog, your thing in the thing that is going to hold up everything for you, and you will see it start working out in front of you. It's going to be very mystical. It's going to be an experience like stars are aligning and everything just out of nowhere is moving finally. It's happening. It's actually happening. You might cry like happy tears multiple times. You might have moments where you're just dumbfounded and phased, like starstruck and phased, like, oh my fucking God is happening. You're gonna be quite excited with yourself and your life, and you know this will happen, but you're at the same time, you've been at it for so long, everything's been taking so long time, like it's a long time coming. Um, that you are currently a little bit. You're doing what you're doing, but you're disgruntled that it's not happened yet. You wish things were easier sometimes. Sometimes you understand that you just see the destination you're going towards and you're living your life and taking the journey, and you're taking the journey for what the journey is. Because you got to keep your eyes on the road, right? Otherwise, you won't really get there, and you need to get there. You do need to get there, however, getting there is for you. You're a very determined individual that has a proper initiative and a adequate intent. S- Why do I feel like something might try and come around and distract you? Because I keep getting distracted and I'm not a fan of it. I've had that a little bit in this reading, but this is more like a sign, like it's benevolent energy being distracting, so it's kind of like there's something about it for the reading, and it's like you will be distracted by something, don't get distracted because it's not important. You will notice that it's not really anything to like bite into. It doesn't have meat on it. Like it's just bones. And you can keep going or you can get stuck there. So it's kind of recommended for you to just keep going and not pay it mind. It will try and pull at your heartstrings and make you feel guilty or ashamed or like pity, 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 pity. Pity me is kind of coming across. Don't pity it. Fucking keep moving. That shit has no space in your life. It's just gonna drag you down and be baggage. And sometimes it's nasty to say it, but sometimes you gotta call a spade because you can't dig up dirt otherwise, right? A pitchfork ain't gonna do it. So I feel like that was actually a very well put analogy. Thank you, Spirit. You are the right person for the job. You are the right frequency, you are the right match, you are the right energy, or I don't know. You have a loving heart. Something about that. You are not seeing that about yourself as well as what's coming across. Which is fine. You'll see it and recognize it when the time will be right, but currently it's about you just keep moving. You just keep going, following your heart's passions in a dreamlike state in a dreamy way and get as hopeful as you can while living your reality to the fullest and being your most authentic self is how it's coming across. This is the daydreamer smile, isn't it? Yeah, not all of you. Some of you are daydreamers, like or dreamers in general. Some of you are just achievers. This is a mixed bag. Anyway, not the important part, but keep going at the even if it's like a ludicrous daydreaming experience, keep going for it because there's something hidden within that energy, within that mystical kind of like romantic vibe of it. And romantic doesn't need to be just like romantic in the partnership sense, at least not with me in my country. There's also poetic romance of like art and or life, right? Having like a romantic experience behind that that is like surreal, emotional, sometimes like it just has this sense behind it. I don't know how to explain it. But romantic. I don't know. Try and see what the word means in other languages through English describing it in different languages. I don't know. Yeah, you're going definitely through a fog because it keeps stopping and starting and stopping and starting, and I do say a lot of ums sometimes, but I'm saying a lot of ums. Maybe you're not too sure on what you're doing, where you're going, but you have a gut feeling that you're following, so just, or you're following something yet again. If you, yeah, if anything, like you just keep doing that. I feel like I need to tell you guys you're the most positive pile, so I don't know. I feel ready to roll. Eh. Happy, happy. That's a good card to have on the words that I said. Loyalty and devotion. Yeah, you're very much following your heart, your desires, your passions. You're doing it in a very grounded way, but you're also keeping like the love alive with it, the dream alive. You keep having your sights on where you need to have them as you're traveling or going. It's kind of funny. I just remembered some people and how they explain like riding a bike and where you have to like have your eyes, right? If a person, when you're teaching them how to ride a bike, like they keep looking at the tires, and it's kind of like you need to look a bit more forward. And sometimes it's also not good if you're looking just straight way too far ahead because you won't see what is in between you, the tires, and your destination. So it's kind of like you need to have it on the mid range. And obviously, like looking ahead, sometimes it's fine, but you still need to like obviously check where you're going and all the rest. It's just you won't find balance if you're constantly looking at the wire, like and the wheel that's going, like the wire. I'm saying it wrong, ain't I? Yes, I am. Moving on. It's been 5 readings, okay? Yeah. You know where to look when you're driving, how you're going there. You're very much focused on things that are meant to make you happy and are a life purpose, but you're also doing it in the right way that actually really expresses your emotions in a healthy manner and kind of puts you like an emotional expense. I don't know how to even describe that. It's just an emotional expense. And you get to creatively express yourself within your life, like through just living it. You don't need to be making anything or an artist. It's just you existing in a creative way is enough. I'm not a great singer in front of people, especially. Um, but I'm hearing like life is a highway. Da 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 da. I'm not gonna properly sing it. I could try. I'm just not there yet. I am sorry. Life is a highway. That's as good as I'm gonna do. Uh, it keeps going in my head. Keeps going and going and going and going. So something about night thrills? Some of you got, I don't know, vibes off that. I'm more so seeing the point of like a night's drive and you're going somewhere and it's like a road trip type of vibe, or I feel like some of you were like, yeah, that's completely different than what I got. Yeah, because of the song, I get it. But the song came through for a reason. It's just you don't need to necessarily. Sometimes it's a direct thing, sometimes it's not. So in this case, something you do in the night is important. If you're staying up and being creative, if you're socializing, driving, gaming, even working, crafting, I don't know, something you do, even if you're sleeping really good and you're just dreaming, something you do in the night is important currently, or will become important. It will be a highlight of your experiences. If suddenly your sleeping schedule really shifts, especially in June, it's fine. Sometimes when, you are really excited for the summertime or you're going through a lot or doing a lot or living a lot of life, you stay up later and there's so many experiences and thrills and just happiness and joy to be found in the late night. besides like obviously the other side of it, which be safe, if especially if you live in a particular part of town or something like that, but this is coming through to people that might find like this weird solace or peace or romanticism or this like weird vibe of like I don't know, your dream speaking to you, intuition speaking to you, you having this like out of time experience where you're just left with yourself and your dreams and the good vibes, and there's something you're bringing in that way, like you're reeling in the fish. You do need to realize the truth, though, that you're not actually figuring out because it is behind the barriers of the barriers of some trauma and some problems and pains. If you got a pain, you follow that pain, especially if it's a physical reaction, because that's where it's locked into your body and you will have a somatic release. You can sign up to that just by listening to this and being like, yeah, I want to do that. And your body will be like, okay, we'll have that experience then. And you don't need to be afraid. It's just something you need to face within who you were, who you are, and where you're going. And that it's kind of crazy that you, from such a low point, rose up to where you are, and you're going into even like a better place. You're going through this weird veil into a land of pure imagination. I don't know why all the songs are coming through. Maybe you like musicals? Do you like musicals? Or I don't know. You may you might be like a 90s teen is coming through or a 90s kid. Teen is kind of more so the case though, I feel like, but kid can still apply to some of y'all. Even if you're not, it doesn't matter. It's just something about that just kind of is adding up to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think things will just come full circle when you realize the truth you're running away from or hiding. Like something you tried, go getting under the rug and forgetting about, but it's like a building block essential to you, and you can't run away from understanding that truth or realizing it. You can't just have it as a faded memory you never revisit. It has to come to the surface for you to understand how low you went and how high you're coming back up. So that will initiate the true adventure, and you will just go off to the sunset. All right. Because actually, you might feel a bit too shy to fully experience the pure pleasure and joy and happiness, or you're going to be like this old version of you that you haven't looked at yet, and you don't want that. You want to be a whole new person, or a whole new man, a whole new person instead of like someone you used to be because you're not that person and when you don't face certain aspects of yourself or you don't really realize certain characteristics and identities, you basically become like that version of you for certain moments that connect in some way or relate or correlate or whatever, right? Like you hit a resonant point with where you resonated as well with that experience or that type of vibe or that type of place. And then you, instead of being your new version, you're an old version of you. And some of you really don't want that. So this is just telling you, like, keep readying to roll and being on your, high vibe, good shit, but also understand that some things you can release. You can, reveal that truth to yourself. It also says like the monster behind the curtain, so literally a card that kind of speaks to that vibes. The moment I embrace peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. So yeah, you don't really need to be controlling things too much. You can kind of give into this process of release and truth revealed. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. I think that's just talking about the point of you not wanting to be your old version anymore. And I think you might accidentally manifest some other hiccups you won't like if you don't really face what you're still releasing and healing. Something about we spoke about that person or something coming back in. Yeah, distraction or whatever. Pity. I feel like that's connected to the pity thing I spoke about. It'll be different for everyone, but something about pity and that is connecting. So don't co-create that. Through prayer, meditation, and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So you think you gotta keep on doing stuff to keep on rolling on this, and it's like I think now you can kind of let go a bit. You can live your life, be present in living your life, and really experiencing yourself to the fullest. Yeah, some parts are gonna be reflective and a little bit sad at times, or you might remember how mad you were about something or whatever, but it's supposed to be a moment of a flow, like into a better overall experience of yourself. It's kind of like coming together whole, so you're ready to go forward with whatever like experience you're gonna get into, basically. So I surrender to a power greater than me, and instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. Yeah, so this is just telling me you're a bit of a controlling person. Yet again, like you're trying to create it and do it and follow these steps that are gonna secure this reality for you. And it's a case of like you need to, this is an inside job. This is nothing you're going to do external to you to achieve this experience and real feeling of it. It is correlating with how you are doing on your soul's journey and how you are basically like letting your old self go away and this new self reemerge, and you're not shortcutting the process, like you're not kind of just being one-sided about it, and you are taking time to flow and relax and release and kind of let the universe do its work with you, or yeah, like the universe do this dance with you, I guess, because it is a transformation of the soul, so you can have that manifestation in the external, and you need to surrender to the flow of the experience, not necessarily surrendering to your circumstances and not trying and not doing anything, but letting go of control and the grip to have things a certain way, because you're not going to have the experience that leads you there. You're going to try to control life to have a certain circumstance and outcome, and that expectation never goes right. It never works out. Like, never, 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 never. Especially if you're wanting a heartful, wholesome experience like you do. So I recommend surrendering and just letting it be and happen and knowing you're gonna be fine. Like you really don't need to be doing stuff all the time, I guess. That is everything. I hope you enjoyed. This was really good. This was a good ending read for me, because now I feel light enough to just go and relax. So thank you so much for being here and getting this reading. I really do wish you the very best of luck and to enjoy your wish fulfillment and all the good stuff happening and to not be afraid of the little emotional like shifting and changing and molting, I guess, of skin that you're gonna be experiencing, and everything's going to, yeah, kind of just be good, go with the soul. So I appreciate you. I wish you the very, very best, and I hope to see you again. And yeah,